And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We got to get there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share because the stupidity, it doesn't stop. Now, let me be very clear. One of the biggest problems that we have right now, is that the media still takes Donald Trump at his word instead of just looking at his actions. Something I've been talking about forever. When he tells you he's going to do something, expect it's going to happen. Remember, during the campaign, he kept saying things like, I don't know anything about Project 2025. I have nothing to do with it. The truth is obvious. This was always his agenda. He put the head of Project 2025, in fact, in charge of the Office of Management and Budget. It's right there in front of us. He told us what he was planning to do. And too many people just ignored it. Now, on Political Beatdown, I spoke with my co-host, Ben Meiselas, about how Project 2025 laid the groundwork for the hurt that Trump and his lackeys are right now causing during this government shutdown. Play the clip. Project 2025 is a 921-page manifesto. It is a manifesto on how to destroy America's Democratic Republic. How is that the writer? How do you credit the writer of Project 2025 fame? It's like a kick in the ass to all of us by this administration.
Right. And then remember, during the campaign, Donald Trump would post things like this. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no ideas who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying. And some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck. But I have nothing to do with them. And do you remember the headlines like this? This is from USA Today, right? Which is supposed to be, kind of center, right? That's how they would frame themselves as. Harris repeats claim that Project 2025 is Trump's plan. That's still not right. And just so we can see, here's what former Vice President Kamala Harris said. Let's play this clip when she was interviewed. And the interviewer was like, but you do realize that Donald Trump saying he knows nothing about it. And this is why corporate news is ill-equipped, is not equipped to deal with this moment. Here, play this clip.
Read Project 2025.
The former president said that's not true.
He says everything. Come on, are we really taking his word for it?
You know how many times I used to get emails? Not so much right now, but I used to get these emails from whatever these fact-checking companies are, or the CNN fact checker, who does a good job now, but I mean, on Trump stuff related, Daniel Dale, but they would send me all this stuff when I'd be trying to warn people, stop quoting Donald Trump's words. Look at his conduct. Look at what he's saying here, and here. Watch what he's doing. Same thing. I mean, they once fact checked me where I was saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene refused to clap when Zelensky showed up. This was like 4 years ago, right? And I was like, she hates Zelensky. What are you talking about? And she didn't clap. They're like, actually, if you look at her hands, they made contact. And then they would write a whole story like fact checking, like Midas touch, incorrect listen. I'm like, you're missing the broader point that she wants to not help Ukraine. Well, where do you see that? Where do you know that? And then throughout the entire campaign, I would always get these fact check emails from where are you getting your sources? I'm like, just watch who he's meeting with. Look who he's talking to. Like, it's not obvious to you that he's lying about this, and this, but Donald Trump said. So here we are, Cohen, and it's like, now what? Now it's like a big shocker that Donald Trump loved Project 2025. It was always his agenda. He appointed the head of Project 2025 to run the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought. And you just think about it like this. Former President Biden, regardless of what you think about him, I happen to like him, regardless of what you think about him, 20% of all Inflation Reduction Act money went to one state. Can you guess what state that is, Cohen? What state do you think it is? Texas. I'll just give it to you. It's Texas. Got 20%. In fact, red states overwhelmingly benefited over blue states by all of Biden's initiatives. What was disparaged as Green New Deal or the billions of dollars of investments overwhelmingly helped red states or purple states that ended up voting for Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump wants to take credit for some of those things, destroyed a lot of them with his views about energy and his other crazy views. And then he goes after the blue states and says, we're taking away all of your things. You saw in Cohen's Cohen tunnel, $18 billion being taken from your New Yorker.
From my New York City 2nd Avenue subway, they're talking about some infrastructure. Actually, there's a lot of infrastructure. You know, I say this and people look at me like I have two heads, and I'm going to say it anyway. I don't care if Trump wants to take credit for putting the moon up in the sky. I truly don't give a shit. I don't care that he goes on and he turns around and says the most outlandish, ridiculous things, that he really truly believes that tariffs are good for America and so on. And I say this, I'm going to tell you why. Because every president comes to the White House with their own agenda. Every single president. I didn't like some of the things Obama did. I didn't like things that Trump did in his term. I didn't like things that Biden did. I certainly don't like things that Trump is doing. But every president has the absolute right to come to the White House with their agenda. Fine. Let's just all agree on that, right? But here's where we have the right to disagree. When that agenda isn't even really yours, it's of a racist, sexist, misogynist dirtbag by the name of Russ Vought and others like a Stephen Miller, who put together a manifesto that is specifically designed to destroy our democratic republic. I read the 921 pages of it, as I know you have, Ben, because Ben and I, after hours, would get on the phone and we would talk about it. We would say, wait. Did you see like the third paragraph there, fourth paragraph in chapter 6? I mean, for real, this is the time that we either stand up united together to fight for what is left of this country before there is nothing left, or lose it for good. And I'm kind of like at a point right now that people even say, you know, you're always sort of doom and gloom. Did you hear what Ben said a moment ago? Who's running the Office of Budget Management? Right? Who's running it? Russ Vought, the same animal who wrote this Project 2025 years ago, when we were still sane as a country, normal. What that Project 2025 and its writers would be charged with treason, because that's exactly what it is. And yet, what do? They talk about the enemies from within. The writers and those that are trying to effectuate Project 2025, they are the true enemies from within. And it is time for us to get loud. It's time for us to get angry. It's time for us to get united, which is why I regularly say we're very fortunate to all be attached to the Midas Touch Network, with more than 5+ million subscribers, bigger now than Fox News, bigger than CNN, worthless CNN and MSNBC combined. Midas Touch Network has been successful in growing that. But here's the problem. 5 million people doesn't win you an election. And so when I ask each and every one of you to do this community one thing, do one thing for this whole week. And what is that? Simply find one person and bring them to this community. Make them come to the community. Make them listen so that they finally get an understanding of truth, of reality, of where we are right now and what we need to do to save this incredible experiment called democracy.
I'll show you right here. You've got MAGA Republican Senator Mike Lee saying that Russ Vought's been waiting to go after, quote unquote, programs that help Democrats since puberty is what he says. Puberty. What a weird, creepy thing to even like who would actually be speaking it? You know what? He's been waiting for this since puberty. I mean,
you know who else would say something like that? Jeffrey Epstein.
some creepy ass shit. I mean, excuse my language. Some creepy ass stuff right there. Here, play the clip.
But this is what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. It's going to harm them because Russ Vought, the OMB director, has been dreaming about this moment, preparing this moment since puberty. Russ Vought has a plan, and that plan is going to succeed in further empowering Trump. This is going to be the Democrats' worst nightmare, and it's of their own making.
Yeah. So,
do you notice that not one of them even blinked when he made that statement, as if, yeah, puberty, non-puberty? I mean, they're absolutely motionless. They legitimately did not move. There was no expression whatsoever, and it's creepy as shit.
It's just like, I'm like, what? I was like, well, that seems that's what a strange thing. But their entire plan with everything is not help the country. It's always own the libs, right? I mean, if you wanted to boil down what their agenda is, it's how do you actually hurt Democrats? I mean, let's be clear. The MAGA Republicans support Vladimir Putin more than they support the Democrats, right? The Republicans support Kim Jong-un more than they support the Democrats. You better believe they support, oh my gosh, not even close, Argentina, Javier Milei, Qatar, all those, I mean, way more than they support Democrats. I mean, while they're taking away $18 billion going from New York City, which impacts that whole tri-state area, $20 billion goes to Argentina? What? We're taking away $18 billion from making Manhattan and New York probably the economic center of the world, or what should be. That'll really show the libs. We're going to go after New York City, and we're going to take $20 billion and give it to Javier Milei in the form of a loan. But really, what's Milei going to do with that money? Just burn it. He's already destroyed the Argentinian currency. You give him $20 billion, that's throwing good money at bad right there. That's not going to.
And you know what the thanks is that Malay does?
Yeah, he goes and he gives the soybeans to China.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Talking about the art of the deal, right? Bail somebody out so that they can go ahead and then undercut your product, your farmer's product, soy, to China for like half the price. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the art of the deal to me. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.